Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Peshawar Model Degree College Online Lecture Room. This is Miss Fatima Shakir and it is your English Advanced class for today. Dear students, today we are going to read about Proud Maisi in the words. Now, the title itself, it describes the character of a girl and the girl is named as Maisi, whereas her personality is described in one word, and what is that? Proud. Now, there is a girl who is proud. Why is she proud? That we will be describing in detail in the explanation, okay? Now, words, it stand for what? Words, actually, it is not about words, okay? It stands for forest. So, there is a girl who is named as Maisi and she's a proud one and she is over there in a forest, okay? The setting takes place in a forest. The poet of this poem is Walter Scott. And as I mentioned a few seconds before that it is titled as Proud Maisi in the words. So let's come and know about the poet. Okay, so Walter Scott, he was a person who was born in Edinburgh and he was trained as a lawyer. It means that he had his education related to law. He is internationally a popular poet, a dramatist and a novelist, okay? And there is something special about him. What is that? Related to his writing, you can find musicality in his language. So this is a very, you could say, unique quality about him. And he has written the outstanding collection of songs and ballads over there. And he is also titled as the National Hero of Scotland. First of all, let's come and read about the poem, what it is all about. Now, this is a literary ballad. What is a ballad? A ballad, it's actually a poem or a story, but in a form of a song. So let's see what it is all about. Proud Maisi is in the wood, walking so early. Sweet robin sits on the bush singing so rarely. Now look at here that there is a bird that is described and the bird is titled as Robin. Tell me, thou bonny bird, when shall I marry me? When 6 broad gentlemen Kirkward shall carry ye. The first is the question that the lady asked, and the second one, when 6 broad gentlemen Kirkward shall carry ye, this is the answer of a bird. Who makes the bridal bed? Birdie, say truly. The grey-headed sexton that delves the grave duly. Again, another answer that she gets and that astonishes her. And she's like, what? The glow warm over grave and stone shall light thee steady. The owl from the steeple sing, welcome, proud lady. The very last lines are the words that tells us that the future of this lady is not rather in getting married and having a happy life. Rather, it's in what? Look at the word, grave and stone. And you would be like, oh, this is something sad. Why? Now see, the very first line of the poem, it tells you proud Maisi is in the wood. That there is a girl who is really proud. And you must be wondering why this girl is proud. But this is a common assumption that if someone is proud, they are proud due to 2 things. According to me, either due to their features, they're really very beautiful, or either they are having so much, you could say that they are too rich, materialistic. When they're too materialistic and they're having, you could say, everything that a person needs and they're having it in abundance, so that person automatically, they get this negative quality in themselves. So the poet tells us in this poem that there is a girl who is really proud and she is just walking in the woods here and there, and so she finds a bird. That bird is titled as Robin, and she asks Robin that tell me, thou bonny bird. Now what is bonny? Bonny means pretty. She asks him, when shall I marry me? Let me know, when am I going to get married? And what is the answer of that? The answer of the Robin is, when 6 broad gentlemen Kirkward shall carry ye. What is broad? Broad mean handsome and Kirkward mean church. He says there will be 6 gentlemen, 6 handsome men, and they will be carrying you towards church. Now, this is also true that when these people, such as the Christians or the Jews, when they are getting married, the Western people, so they go to church and they tie the knot over there. So he's also saying over here that surely you will be going to church, but not by yourself. Rather, there will be 6 people and they will be carrying you. And this is the idea that automatically you get. How and why will they be carrying her? But look at the very next question that this lady asks, and she again says, who makes the bridal bed? Birdie, say truly. And now she says, just forget it. She just wants to give this feeling to this bird that I am not going to listen to whatever you have said. And so she asks again, okay, just forget this thing and let me know who is going to make my bridal bed. And what he says? He says, the grey-headed sexton that delves the grave duly. Now, what is a sexton? Sexton, it's actually a person who looks after church. And besides that, not only after church, rather he is you could say, a grave digger as well. So he says that there will be a man who would be looking after you, and that man would be a person who would be digging graves. And then he says that delves the grave duly. What is delve? Delve means that dig. He's saying that person would be digging grave and you would be one of them. There would be a grave that would be dug only for you. Now, the next lines is that the birdie, it continues, and he says, the glow warm over grave and stone shall light thee steady. And he says, not only this glow warms, it means an insect. He is saying, not only you would be welcomed in a grave by the, you could say, darkness, rather there will be insects, there will be stones that will be welcoming you. And then he says, shall light thee steady. Steady means fixed. There won't be any light for you. And then he says again in the very last line, the owl from the steeple sing, welcome proud lady. What is steeple? Steeple is the church tower, and he's saying that there will be a bird that would be sitting just on a church steeple, and that bird would be an owl, and he would be welcoming you. Welcome proud lady. It means that day you won't be able to eat, to walk, to drink, in short, to live. And a bird who is already living, he would be welcoming you, and he would be telling you what use of being proud in this world. Now let's come to the explanation, okay? This is a short poem, and it takes place in a magical landscape. Landscape means a very beautiful woodland. And there is a robin who is prophesying death. Prophesying means to tell something about future that is going to happen. So it shows that Maisi is described as a proud lady. Why? Because of her youthfulness, because of her beauty. And the birds warn her that don't be happy, do not feel proud on this thing, because there is a frightening future for you. How frightening future for you? Because he says that I am going to give you a news that will be surely harsh for you, but you should come up with this thing that yes, I am going to die one day. Now, Maisi seems to ignore the bird's first tendency, as I mentioned before. She at once just, she ignores it, and she assumes, when the bird says that 6 broad gentlemen would be carrying you to the church, she assumes that these men are suitors rather than coffin bearers. Now, what are suitors? Suitor is a person who proposes someone. So she says that maybe these are someone who are, really interested in me, and they will be taking me, and they would be wishing to go with me and all that. But this is just because of her proud. And so she again asks, and she says, please tell me who is going to get married to me. And besides that, she says, who will be making my bridal bed? So he says that your bed won't be in a room. Rather, it would be there in a grave. And the grave word, it's actually repeated in order to throw some emphasis that the proud Maisi, she won't be living in this world, in her bedroom or in her house. Rather, she would be living in a dark room and underground. The key word in this poem is proud, right? As we are done with one of the poems that was all but blind, so the key word over there was blind, but here it is proud. And the poem, it takes the form of a dialogue between Maisi and Robin. You are just aware of this thing, that Maisi is a proud woman and she expects that something really beautiful and good is going to happen to her. Whereas when she is told that a grave digger would be coming and she will die a spinster. Spinster means she won't be getting married, and the big occasion for her in her life would be in the church, but it won't be of her wedding. Rather, that occasion would be related to her funeral. And there won't be any bright lights, there won't be any wedding bells, there will be only the dim shining of the glowworms. She could just witness and she could just observe insects in her grave, and she would be buried there. And the screech of the owl in the bell would be heard at night. It would be just Maisi in the grave, and it would be just an owl up there. Pride indeed comes before all. This is true. So now you're supposed to write that what does the bird prophesy to Maisi about her future, and besides that, what is the theme of this poem and what is the key word that is laid emphasis upon. So the answers are already there in this explanation, and you're supposed to write down and get an idea of this thing, right? So besides that, it was a short poem, and that's why it needed not, you could say, extra explanation, right? So that was it. Thank you so much.